What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. Shit. Knew that was gonna happen. I practiced that twice. And then the second I turned the camera on, you guys make me nervous. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild, the final episode where I am going to be doing the things to the bike for the last time. After this episode, if everything goes right, the next episode will be at Mountain Motorsports, where awesome big things go on that I have no right to be putting on this motorcycle, including awesome things like an exhaust and a rear shock. Also featured in today's video is this little hoverboard for cinematic shooting. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, let me show you what you can do if you have a hoverboard and a camera. So yeah, not having to walk really helps out in the cinematic feel of the shots. So let's start putting stuff on. Today we're going to be replacing these guys and each reservoir to go with the front handlebars, like this lever, that lever. We're also going to be, let's go to the other side. We're also going to be switching that guy out. We're going to install LEDs, a big horn, put a fender thing there. You guys see that little carbon fiber piece right there? We're going to slap it onto that part. We've got a red clutch slave thing to replace. We're going to be taking this guy off, replacing all of these bolts because we don't trust them anymore. We're going to replace this little guy, and we're going to put the oil back in the bike. What else? Oh, and we've got sliders to install. Yep. And we've got this little random thing. Yep, so that's about all the stuff we have to put on today. I was doing some testing on some stuff, and I think I might run into a couple issues that I can't help today, but we'll find out. But let's get started, because that's what you're all here for. So most of you guys have watched most of the episodes, I think, and in the very beginning, this whole piece, this big piece of metal, is actually brand new. There was a big crack on it when we first got the bike. So when I was taking all these screws out, this screw broke and this screw broke as well. The good news is I'm relatively certain I can get those out because this one broke on the inside and I actually got that whole screw out already. So after those two screws breaking, I feel like when the bike got wrecked, however it got wrecked, I feel like there was a big hit right here and all these screws are kind of damaged, or at least I feel like that. So what I did is I ordered all new screws, like OEM screws. So we're going to drain the oil out, take this guy off, and replace all the screws here and inside of here. And we're also going to put a new plate on here. So let's get that started, but first we gotta get the oil out. You guys proud of me? I didn't wear a single watch today. Where's my beat drop? That is some clean ass oil, and remember, that oil is going to be going back in the bike later in the episode after we take the side panel off, so recycling it, not wasting all that oil. I don't want you guys thinking why are you throwing away clean oil? Oh my god, she's literally this entire metal piece won't come off because of this one little kickstand. Jesus. All right, now it should come off. There we go. Okay. Yep, there's the broken bolt. You guys see the bolt, the one up here at the top? There's not a ton of space to get to that bolt, but I think if I get some locking pliers, I can maybe like wrench it around to get it out. That's probably my best bet with this thing. So we'll try that, and after that, I don't really know what else to do. I could try drilling it. I don't know. We'll see if the locking pliers work. I think just regular pliers are gonna work actually. There we go. I mean, I guess I should be pretty thankful. It was a pretty clean break off and it wasn't really that hard to get out. Okay, so now we've got this thing off. Not only did I get new bolts for the inside of this, but I also got new bolts for the inside of this crankcase. So we're gonna start replacing them and get this whole thing back on. I remembered needing to do this for a reason, and when I took that first bolt out, I forgot, I guess, but this bolt is actually stripped. I guess I ordered these a long time ago, so I'm guessing that's why I ended up doing this. Man, having a pair of these guys, these vice grips, man, the needle nose ones, there's been multiple times. It's not as important as the mallet, but I mean, it ain't bad. I'm gonna go check the torque spec for those. I know I didn't get all of it off, but I tried getting all of the little access, little membrane-y crap that I have to put on the outside, and this just makes a ring around the metal so it's not just metal on metal because it's liquid, I guess. I don't know. So now, luckily, I've got like plenty of this stuff. Silicon liquid gasket. So we're gonna squirt that all around the outside and put this thing back on and get these new screws in. Just make it clear, I'm only using this to speed the process up. I am not putting them in with this. Now I get to show you you guys the new this thing. So instead of putting on the old silver thing here, I wanted to add a little bit of flair and got this little star thing from Speedy Moto. Looks pretty dope. Alright, now God forbid we don't put the correct torque specs on all of these nuts. Fun fact, the torque value is 10 Newton meters for all of the surrounding bolts on the crankcase, so there you go. Alright guys, so that's all of that done, and now we're gonna get the new oil in. Not the new oil, but the oil that was in there. Gotta get it back in there, and then after that we will transition into all the other stuff we are doing today, because that's the last engine stuff I'm doing on this bike. Alrighty, and that's all for the mechanical stuff that we're doing on the bike today. Not really a big deal, but very necessary to get that done. So now we're going to transition to all the other stuff we're doing today, which is a lot of wiring and handlebar stuff. And to do that, I'm going to clean all of this crap up before we can get started. You guys know you don't like watching cleaning, so... And now you don't have to. Let's get started. So now I've broken up the next things to do into two main categories. The first category is to get the levers installed, and that involves getting the levers put on and the reservoirs flushed out, all of the fluids in this one, and the clutch and the brakes, and getting those flushed out and new stuff all put in. Then we're going to transition into the wiring section, which is going to be wiring the horn and wiring the LEDs into the bike. I think first we're going to do the levers and get all of the liquid stuff going out of the way, because from what I've read, brake fluid is very corrosive, so you have to be super careful with it. So I think I want to get that finished before I start working with LEDs, and I think like the LEDs would be a good like finishing move to put on the bike. So we're going to lower the bike down and get started with these. I've never done this before, so wish me luck. Jesus Christ, I don't feel good about it. We'll find out how good it goes. All right, so we gotta like bleed these things and make this liquid stuff go all over the place. Before I dive into this, I've got an idea.
Howdy, this is Lemmy at Drumzilla TV.
What's up, Lemmy? I am excited to watch your video.
So my guess is if you're watching this video, you need to bleed your motorcycle brakes. You're probably...
How the hell did he know? Okay, so after extensive research, I have found out that the first thing I need to do is remove the liquid out of here, here, and this guy. In order to do that, I am going to use this little thing. This little hand pump situation. I didn't know it made noise. Heather's gonna think that's an alarm. So I've got to remove the liquid out of here, and then I'm gonna have to remove the liquid out of the lines. And after that is done, then I can install the new levers and get that thing. Because we're replacing the entire reservoir things with these Rizoma ones. That should look pretty dope. Okay, let's see if we can remove liquid. So for the sake of doing this without getting this stuff everywhere, I'm going to put these on just so I can get them horizontal with the bar. Nasty stuff that was on the inside of that. I didn't know brake fluid could get all that kind of crap inside of it. Trying to be super careful to not get any of this brake fluid on the tank or anything underneath, because supposedly it will eat through shit. A scientific description of what brake fluid does. I'm telling you guys, if you look online, the people that are doing this, they act like this is like dragon's like blood acid something. Like they're like, do not let it get on anything, and if it does, remove it quickly. And I'm like as a guy who's never done this, I'm like, if it touches my skin, am I gonna melt? Oh my god. This little hand pump has been really helpful though. Yeah, so I've never done this job, but the little hand pump thing, highly recommended. I imagine this would be a much harder process without it, and we're going to use it again once we get to bleeding the brakes, so it'll come in even more handy. I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you guys, I just like reminding you just in case. I am learning what I'm doing right now. Do not use my videos as a how to do something. It's more of like entertaining, watching me try my way through things. Don't use these as a how-to guide. You are taking full responsibility if anything happens to your bike. Okay, all of those are done now, and now we need to get the new hoses in there. Or the new reservoirs, not the new hoses. We're not doing new brake lines. Okay. In my head, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can put the new levers on and just go at it. But for some reason, I'm worried that the liquid inside the brake lines, if I take the reservoir off, the liquid would shoot out. Or when I take the little banjo bolt things off to put them onto the new ones, I'm worried they'll like shoot out for some reason. Don't know if that's legitimate or not, and can't really tell on the videos that I've watched. So what I'm gonna do is hook up the little bleeder thing to these little exhaust valve thingy-majiggers and just pump it and try to get the liquid out so there's no liquid in the lines at all, because we're going to be putting new liquid in. That's what I'm going to do. Don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do. Once again, that is what I'm going to do, though. Okay. Okay, so I pulled the clutch in and nothing happened, which makes me assume that there's nothing in here. All right, cool. So after that, I feel confident that there's nothing in here. And so this is like the clutch master slave or something. It's basically getting replaced by this guy with these bolts. I didn't loosen it. Son of a bitch. I totally forgot to loosen the bolt, which makes sense why nothing happened. Dang it. Okay, gotta loosen the bolt. Okay, so now... Oh no, oh no. It's not good. Shit. Not good. Brake fluid going places. Don't want it going places. Crud. There can't be a lot of fluid in there though, right? Crap, man. It's like leaking. Alright, we need to lock this back down. Okay, now nothing should come back out. I'm gonna leave this in there. I'm gonna put a fresh one actually. I don't see any brake fluid coming out. I think because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the, I'm gonna remove this entire piece now, because with no brake fluid coming out, I feel confident that it can just be taken off. Alright, so before I get this thing taken off, the old one, I want to have all the pieces to the new one out and ready to go so that it doesn't take long, just in case there's like brake fluid and shit going everywhere. Camera is going to have to stay there for a minute because this shit could get really messy and I have to be quick. I'm going to have paper towels on deck ready to shit up. Alright, here we go. Okay, now we've got this guy out here, so if liquid does come out, which it is already, okay, that's fine. with liquid coming out, it's not a big deal because now it's just going to drop on the ground and like, pfft. Okay, so there is going to be a lot of brake fluid coming out of this. Okay, so now we'll have to get the air through here again, but now we're gonna go up there and put the lever on, fill it up with brake fluid. Okay, so now very similarly, I should be able to just undo this and everything be okay. All right, now before we get this new clutch lever on the bike, I need to get the new reservoir on here. Now, I'm not gonna be able to do that with the Brembo lines, with the little Brembo connectors, but Rizoma, again, has these little handlebar mounts, and I'm gonna replace these with these, and they have little holes on the top, which should allow me to mount the reservoirs to. I just realized that I need these tubes first. Okay, so here's the part I'm a bit worried about. I need to get what I believe is called a banjo bolt, this little guy. I need to get it off of here, like totally taken off, so we can install it on the other Brembo one. I might have to put this back on here just to try to get this off. At least now when I'm on the other side, I'll know to go ahead and take off the bolt. I also learned a pro tip. You get paper towel things and you feed them through this little bolt. Obviously my rolling skills are a little lacking. That's okay. Yeah, so now liquid won't come out. All right, cool. That worked out. The last time I did a little link to someone's channel, it was Delboy's Garage channel, that had some good info about the taking off the chain. So I'm going to put a link to the video where I found all the information on this. Obviously there was the Revzilla video that was helpful, but there was another one, I think called Canyon Dancer's Garage or something like that. I don't know what to do with this little guy is my issue right now. All right, I'm gonna go look it up, but first I'm gonna get the new bar on. Okay, brake line is on. Now we gotta get the reservoir on there. All right, so we've got the new Rizoma reservoir. Gonna just roughly get it screwed onto here. And if it's gonna go there, it only has to go to that. It's not very far at all. So we've got this guy, and this guy. I'm assuming I need to take out this little nut to get inside of it. So guys, I'm sitting here reading these instructions, and as you can tell, it says to just insert it. Now, do you guys see the size hole that we're working with? This has to go in said hole. I don't know how, dude. It says to use alcohol. I need a... Yes. We got it in. Nailed it, guys. Absolutely nailed it. There you go. You just got to lube it up. Who'd have thought? Am I right? I'm going to stop. There we go. So I got two Rizoma things. Two of these little bars. I think this is the right size. So I guess I just need this tube to go like on here. Okay, now obviously this tube is way too high, but I need to cut it like right there. Let's see if lubricant helps. I don't really know, man. I'm sitting here trying to like lube it and get it on there and just nothing's happening. I think that might be too big or something. Yeah, I officially give up. I give up on trying to get the little clamp over the top one. It was a sad defeat, but I have to just give in at this point. What if we did something crazy? What if we just put the little guy on there? Find out. Come on. All right, so the little one worked. Thank Jesus, my goodness. Now we got to get this thing installed on the other side. There we go. Holy shit. All right, now other than this screw not fitting, this is working. I just need a screw to fit into there. Okay, now hypothetically, this thing should work. So I knew that this screw might not fit, and this is the only bracket I have that's flat like that. I think the other one I got's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to order another one of these. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to go ahead and just like mock these up for the meantime. In the next episode of Chase constantly having clutch/brake issues. So we don't have the nut for this that works correctly. I don't know why that one doesn't fit, but it doesn't. I'm not gonna force it, so whatever. So also, we have our front clutch, or clutch period. And if you notice, it has this little black thing. So I did some research and I was like trying to plug it into other stuff, and then I look on the bottom of our new clutch, this cool black one, and I noticed that it doesn't have the holes that thing needs to plug in. Now I'm currently texting Mountain Motorsports to see if they know what the hell is wrong with that, if it's an essential part of the bike to run it, or... Okay, so what it's looking like is that is the thing that tells the bike it's in neutral. So what might be the case is this bike just might have to be in neutral for you to crank it up. I mean, what can I do? This is like literally the, I think, 5th or 6th front clutch that I've had to order. So I don't really know if the correct one exists. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take it off of the old clutch. And I'm going to let it hang there. I'll zip tie it there, and I'll let the guys at Mountain Motorsports look at it. Maybe they'll have a clever idea that I don't, because they're way smarter than I am when it comes to this kind of stuff. And we're going to move on to the next thing. I think I'm going to do the rear brake, because that seems like everything should work out correctly. Okay, I've spared you the viewing of me getting this little thing coming out of the reservoir, because I mean, at this point we've been there and we've done that. We don't really need to see it again. The new black reservoir for the rear brake should just go on like this. Should be pretty simple. I'm gonna go grab the stuff I need to get this off and make sure I have plenty of towels for that. Right now I've got all of these pieces like super tight, so I need to loosen them up a little bit. Alright, so this is going to roughly be like that. I need to tighten everything down just like that. I think that's gonna fit really good. There. Now we just got to get this little guy on there. I had to lower this down some because the hose wasn't quite matching up or reaching. And you know what? We're going to run into the exact same issue here because this is one of those fatter tubes. Son of a bitch, man. Okay, so the back reservoir has been replaced. The front lever has been replaced, the front clutch and the front clutch reservoir. Now we got to get the brake lever off, and then we're going to be filling all the reservoirs up and putting the fluids in them, and then bleeding them to get all of the old fluid out of the lines and all the air out and all that kind of crap. This is one of them frustrating episodes. This is not good. Jesus, because we still got to take the tank off and we still got to install the LEDs and the horn. That poor horn, like, it keeps like, I'm going to get installed next. And then it never does. God, I'm going to try. I think it goes without saying that that was a little bit frustrating. Trying to get the banjo bolt, the f***ing thing with a hole in it, and a screw, trying to get it to screw into the thing. For whatever reason, that was a giant pain in the ass. Like, bad. Okay, well, here's what I did to finally get it in. This is the screw that I'm talking about. First, I lightened this thing. I lightened the nuts so I could move this up and down. I then took off the little rubber band holder thing to these guys so I'd have more movement with the steel braided lines. Still didn't have that. Still didn't have enough. So then I moved down here, and you can see that I'm gonna have to somehow get this rubber piece back into here because I used that to push it up through. Yeah, I can't do that. All right, I'll figure that out. But yeah, eventually I just use that and push this line up enough to give me some slack to work with, because otherwise nothing was going to happen. Okay, regardless, that is now on. So I'm going to get this braided line back together, and we'll get the reservoir on the top. Alright guys, so here's the deal. I don't have another Rosoma arm, so I can't mount the other reservoir. I am not going to add the fluids to the reservoirs until I can do them all at the same time. That way I'm only having to manage brake fluid at one time, because it's, you know, it's like crazy corrosive for paint, so I don't want to like do some of it and then have to redo it again, you know, the whole process. Like for instance, if I did this reservoir and the brake reservoir now, and I did the front brake reservoir next week, I'm doing all that at the same time. I'm not going to break it up, and I'm not about to open up the gas tank when I'm still like halfway through this current project. And then I need these nuts. Basically, I am at a physical stopping point because I can't literally do anything else. I had planned for this to be the last episode. I've literally been saying that, but I can't finish, and I'm not going to half-ass this build just because, oh, you're stretching the episodes out. Like, I'm doing the best I absolutely can, and you know, it is what it is. Maybe I guess I'm gonna have to push the series back another week. I don't know if I'll be able to put an episode out next week because I'm gonna be waiting for parts now, but I'm going to stop now. I'm gonna get these parts ordered, and whenever they come in, I will do the final episode where I finish up the cylinders, install the LEDs and the horn. If I have those extra parts, that's really not a lot left to do. And now that I know what I'm dealing with, you know, there's not a lot of surprises that can come up. Oh, I also have sliders to go on. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do that next week because I'm not gonna do it right now because it doesn't make sense. So, and guys, that's about all I can do for now. I apologize for having to push this off one more episode, but you know, what can you do? If you got to this point in the video, a like would be absolutely freaking awesome. It would be the sunshine at the end of a rainy day for me, and I would massively appreciate it. Also, big shout out to all the Patreon people. That is how I even fund making this build. If you guys haven't checked out the Patreon page, it's how I fund it, and one of those awesome supporters is going to get gifted the bike after I'm finally freaking done building it. So you can go and check that out in the description if you haven't checked that out yet. Also, I put the parts I put on the bike at the end of the description, so if you guys want to check out the parts I put on it, they'll be down there. I'll see you guys next episode. Don't know if it'll be next week, but I'll see you guys next episode where I try really hard to finish this bike up. And I'm Chaseontwowheels. This is Wrecked Bike Rebuild episode 11. Oh, Ducati. Oh my goodness, Ducati. Also, side note here at the end of the video, because let's be real, most of the mean people are already gone. You guys that understand that I am trying really freaking hard to make this thing happen, and I'm trying to do it as fast as I possibly can, I appreciate it.